Hello folks and welcome to another episode of Technicational. My name is Peyton Wilmot and today we'll be doing the full review of the Digicel DL2 XL. Yes, I know I take my own sweet time doing this review, but I wanted to get it right. I wanted the video to look clear, and I wanted to check with my lawyers, them so Digicel no sue me. Yeah, so today we're going to cover everything, and if you want to know anything else, you can always comment below, ask me some questions, I will respond. So let's get right into the review. So the first thing we're going to talk about is build quality, and the DL2 XL is a much well put together, well built phone than its predecessor. It doesn't have those thick bezels and it just feels pretty solid in the hand. Now, don't mistake this, people, it's still all plastic. There's no metal or no glass anywhere on the DL2 XL. So there's a matter that I can't seem to figure out, and that's when it comes to the specification of the DL2 XL. Now, what's happening is that the specification that is on the box that Digicel is giving everybody is not lining up with what CPU-Z is saying is actually on the phone. I don't know what is going wrong. I don't know if it's CPU-Z giving me bad readings, but it never gave me bad readings before, or the box itself is giving wrong information. So I don't know, and I'm not going to speculate. So I'm just going to give you both specifications and you tell me which one you believe is the right one. So on the Digicel DL2 XL box, it's saying that it has a 13 megapixel rear camera, an 8 megapixel front camera, a 5.5 inch display which is HD IPS. It also has a 3000 mAh battery. It has a quad-core processor, 1 gig of RAM, 16 gigs of internal storage, and it's running Android 7.0, which is Nougat. So on the other hand, CPU-Z is saying something different. Yes, the cameras are the same, 30 megapixel at the back and 8 megapixel at the front, but this is where the figures kind of deviate somewhat. So CPU-Z is telling me that the screen size for the DL2 XL is actually 4.59 inch, which is not or nowhere near 5.5 inch. Also, it's saying that the internal storage of this phone is 10.1 gigabytes, not 16 gigabytes. The RAM seems to be on the same page. You're getting 925 megabytes of RAM, which is rounded off to 1 gig, but those actual figures are not matching up with the figures on the box. So moving on a little bit more into build quality and design, you have a home button, a recent app button, and a back button, but none of them have any icons on them whatsoever, and they are not backlit. So the DL2 XL uses a nano SIM chip, plus you don't have the option to remove the battery. The back cover just covers up the SD card and the SIM card. Now, speaking about the back, we have something around here that looks like a fingerprint scanner, but just get that out of your head. It's not a fingerprint scanner, it's a button. And it's a quick access button for certain apps that you can program. And we're going to go more into that detail when we reach into features. The nice thing this year is the fact that the loudspeaker and the earpiece is not one unit. The last DL phone we did, the earpiece and the loudspeaker was one unit, so if your loudspeaker go, you couldn't hear anybody talking to you through the earpiece either. So it's a good thing that this year it is separate and apart, so if anything happened to one, you can use the other. So we're at the part where we talk about performance, and you would expect a quad-core processor phone with 1 gig of RAM would actually perform averagely or a little below average. And I'm here to say no. The DL2 XL doesn't perform averagely at all. To be honest, running any game on this phone will randomly crash and crash other apps while playing the game. Now, I don't know if it's optimization or the processor, the GPU cannot handle the performance, but it randomly crashes apps regularly if you're running a game. As a matter of fact, you don't have to be running a game. If too much notifications come in from Facebook or WhatsApp at one point or another, you will have the phone freezing up, shutting down apps, and moving extremely slow. So while we're in the section of performance, let's just mention and talk about the one specific feature that the DL2 XL has, and that's Super Key. Now, Super Key is a button at the back of the phone that looks like a fingerprint scanner, but it's not a fingerprint scanner. What it actually does is give you quick access to specific apps that you can map to the button by either holding the button, double pressing the button, or pressing the button once quickly. You can set how quickly you press the button and the sensitivity of the button, but that's just really not here nor there. What the problem that I keep having when I actually set apps for this Super Key is that it randomly starts the app while the phone is in your pocket. Because now and again you might bump into something and the Super Key button is pressed for a short while or a long while, or you might be sitting on a bus in a car and things are on your lap, and it just activates the random application that you set for certain presses. Now, I found that this will, turn on the flashlight, or it will just turn on WhatsApp, and it drains the battery, and it also makes the phone heat up extremely in the pocket. Now, nobody wants anything hot in the pocket for burn the balls off or burn the hair off your crotch. So totally turn it off, keep it off, and avoid any mutilations to your private parts. So we're at the section where we talk about camera quality, and this is something that is the deal breaker for most people. Most people can actually deal with the fact that the phone is slow or deal with the fact that the battery is not really there, but the camera quality has to be good enough to take some selfies and some photos to send to your friends. Now, I am happy to report that the DL2 XL does take average pictures. Not great, but they're good for what you're paying for. The 30 megapixel camera at the back does take good day photos. In the night it's below average, but it still manages to produce enough light from the flash to get you to see what you're taking a picture of. Now, the problem I'm having with the main camera is that it's not quick, not responsive. So if the subject is moving in the picture, or you want to take a picture of a fast action, it's going to be blurry and you won't be able to catch the subject doing an action. Apart from that, if the person stands up pretty still, or whatever you're taking a picture of is still, you will get okay photos that are Instagram ready and Facebook ready. The front camera doesn't have a built-in flash. What it does is light up the front screen and you take a picture and it uses the display as the flash. Now, the front camera is below average when you're comparing it to mid-range phones, but again, it is good for what you're paying for. So in the camera category, the DL2 XL is not bad, it's relatively average. So the next thing I want to talk about is battery life, and this is one category that the DL2 XL wins at hands down. The battery life for this phone is incredible. It actually outperforms my S7 Edge, and my S7 Edge doesn't have as much apps on it and social apps on it as the DL2 XL when I was reviewing it. And while I was using this phone, I get constantly 2 days, no matter what I do on it. Yes, I can't play my game them, but social media, WhatsApp, Facebook, it just handles it and it's not going to die unless the fat lady sings, and that's usually after 2 days. So kudos to you, Digicel. The battery life for this phone is astonishing. So we're at
hold on, you have a question. Just hold on. Is it me or one stone will look like a phone there in some part of the video?
Yes, dear. Yes, dear.
So the stone represents the phone moves slow.
Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Yeah, that was what I was trying to do.
Because you want to know, never call my weed man now and change him because I say, probably me I go mad.
No, you don't have to change him.
But thank God I don't have to change him because I'm cheap. Alright, done the video.
Anyhow, so what are my final thoughts on the Digicel DL2 XL? Now, I have to be honest, this phone is brushing near $20,000 and that's with a sale. Now, I don't even want to see the price if there's not a sale for this phone. Now, it's kind of hard to recommend because of the crashes I've been having when I'm playing game. Everybody want to play a little Candy Crush, a little tempo run on them phone without the phone overheating or just closing all of the apps and slowing down. But apart from that major problem that I encountered reviewing the phone, this phone is a much better step in the right direction from the last Digicel phone. And for that, I say Digicel, continue until you get it right. Because the screen quality for this phone is good enough to play games if the game them didn't work. And you can watch some YouTube videos and the YouTube videos look nice, clean and colorful. And also the build quality for the phone looks good. It feels good in the hand and it's not a phone you would be ashamed of to take out in the public. You know, nobody can really look on it and say, hey, a cheap phone that. And not to mention the button at the back look like a fingerprint scanner. So you can trick people with that too. So all in all, it's hard to recommend, but if you can't find nothing else, at least you're going to get a better phone than what Digicel was selling last year, and you're getting a good battery life, an amazing battery life. So that's it, folks, and I have to say thank you guys for bearing with me, and thank you guys for being there through the struggle, learning all of these things and learning how to video with all the DSLR. Things only can get better from now on. And here you have it. That has been the DL2 XL review. Thank you guys and peace.
Snakes in the grass, you gotta watch where you step. Blood on the leaves, you either kill or be killed. When there's food on the table, you either eat or you starve. And when there's sharks in the water, you either sink or you swim. It's a jungle out there. It's a jungle out there. It's a jungle out there.